Hey everyone, exciting news. We've officially launched the Paranoid Perspective Patreon. If you love what we do, unpacking conspiracies, chasing mysteries, and laughing through the weirdness, now you can support the show and get more of it.
So for as little as $5 a month, you will get exclusive access and extra perks to the episode. Sarah, what do we get with Tier 1?
So Tier 1 is the Curious Minds, and you get a shout out at the end of every episode.
Next tier, this is what you guys really probably want. Ad-free episodes. We don't need those pesky ads that you guys are getting on Spotify, Apple, whatever else. You will get all episodes ad-free along with what else, Sarah?
You'll also get it ahead of time. So before the episode releases for that week, it'll be available for you to watch or listen.
So if you guys are interested, check in the show notes down below, or you can head to patreon.com/the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. Welcome back to the Paranoid Perspective. I'm Jake.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, people go missing every day, and I don't think we put a lot of stock into it. And it really only is one of the things that affects people when it directly affects them. You've seen I know going into like convenience stores or grocery stores or stuff like that, like sometimes you'll see like missing person, and most of the time, unfortunately, people just kind of walk right on by it. And we are talking about some missing people today, but I think it's the tone of, not to diminish any missing person, but this one is a little crazy, to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's in mainstream media now. If people have not heard yet, there are 11 scientists that people are saying they're either dead or missing. Some are dead, but it was all supposedly under mysterious circumstances, these 11. And it's been since 2022.
Okay. So pretty recent.
Yeah. And I guess I saw somewhere they're being called the Nuclear 11 now, but I don't know if that'll stick.
Well, we got to have something to kind of have a buzzword to associate with it, right?
Of course. But also in my research, like literally today, an article came out that called out like 2 more people.
Are you kidding
me? So now
it's
13. No, I'm not kidding.
Jesus Christ.
So, I'm sure it'll go up from 11. I don't know. It's kind of people just finding other ones to add to it.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, oh, this was a scientist and they died or went missing in this time frame. So they're kind of adding without really any correlation. And it kind of it did start because there were 5 in 2025.
Shit, that's quite a lot.
Yeah. And then 2 more now in 2026 so far. So that kind of drew all the attention, and then people did go back to look before 2025 and found other ones. So that's kind of how we were at, maybe 13 now. Yeah. But I will say, a lot of them did work for NASA. Okay. So that's a little strange, maybe, but a lot of people do work for NASA.
I was going to say, what's the current payroll for NASA? You know what I mean? Like how many people are actually on the books? I'm sure it's a shit ton.
Yeah. But I do think some of these could possibly be connected, but I don't think they all are. So we can get into each one. So the first one people are saying is Amy Eskridge. She was 34 years old. She died June 11th, 2022. And it was apparently a suicide.
Okay.
Before that, she said she was being targeted and people were following her. So, she co-founded the Institute for Exotic Science, which focused on experimental propulsion concepts. So like anti-gravity and electrostatic propulsion.
That was my first question, is what was her field of study and what was she doing? For people that may not know, the whole anti-gravity thing is a big, like Bob Lazar, element 115 of, how these supposed alien crafts were actually utilizing the space around them to move, not like propulsion, like we think of it.
Yeah. A lot of these people actually are kind of tied to anti-gravity
See,
research.
that I was going to ask at the beginning, and I figured we are going to go through each individually, but I assumed there was a common trend.
Just not all of them, but a couple of them are doing that. So, or were doing that. But she was like adamant while she was alive that she was not suicidal and that people were harassing her. Like she would go on shows and say, "Hey, if I ever end up dead, I did not commit suicide." Oh, the fact that she died by suicide, a lot of people are bringing it up like it's a little unbelievable.
Well, and it's hard to say that though all the time too. Like I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. Like I mean, the harassing, if she was being harassed, could have caused her to go into a depression that could have caused her to think, so.
Right. I guess 4 days ago from today, her co-founder, Samuel Reed, or I think it's Reed, he's a CEO of Geometric Energy Corporation. He released texts from Amy onto his Twitter profile.
Okay.
Of her saying, they have been taken down, but I did get a screenshot. She said, Bob had it right, as in Bob Lazar. McCandlish, his fatal mistake was that he did not tell anyone that he was under threat, which I guess that was it was Mark McCandlish, who was another researcher for like anti-gravity, who committed suicide, apparently. So she's saying this. And then she said, Bob is alive because he told everyone. And then she said, I did not kill myself. Like, she's saying it in the past tense, but she's alive then. And she also says, I did not shoot myself in my head with my own firearm. I did not overdose on my prescription meds. I did not drive off a cliff. Like she's saying that I'm not going to do those things.
Well, how did she allegedly commit suicide? Do we know?
She did shoot herself, apparently.
Did she shoot herself twice in the head?
I think it was just once. I don't know. Yeah. But she also talked about pain rays. She said the pain rays that we both have experienced for a while, like her and Samuel in the text to him. She said she thought it wasn't a foreign national state. It was the contractors. She said private contractors hiring other private contractors to pain ray and or harass you to death. And she said not for national security concerns, but to eliminate or disable potential competition for their multi-billion-dollar contracts.
Yeah. Well, and to harp back to Bob Lazar, like he was saying that people were stalking and harassing him, after he kind of broke the story. And the thing about it was like, he was talking about how like the harassment wasn't like super apparent. Like they would leave like car doors open, like just to let them know that like, hey, we're watching you sort of thing,
Right. Yeah, I guess that's a technique. Someone was talking about that in the comments that I was reading of like, they'll just go in and like rearrange your closet.
Right.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah.
So then you look crazy if you talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. That's why people speculate, like, did she really commit suicide? Or if she did, was it because of, like, these were pain rays that, like, she said were affecting her? I mean, you could kill yourself because you're in so much pain.
Very true. Very true.
So, I don't know. She also talked about having burn marks from these weapons she thought were being used against her.
Well, and I don't know. Are you familiar with, I'm sure you are, the Nicolas Maduro raid in Venezuela?
I'm not sure.
When we snatched up the president, right? There were alleged that some special operations guys were using beams that would like disable the guards. Like it would physically make them ill, like their noses would start to bleed. Like there is like a weapon system. I forget what it uses, but it's like this is way old. Something like a microwave, sort of like it hits you with microwaves and it makes you feel like you have like an intense sunburn while you're in the path of the ray. So these things,
that's right.
These things exist.
Okay,
and if this was back in the day, and when I was seeing like stuff like this, I'm talking like early 2000s or like early 90s when they had like documentary TV shows on some of these weapon systems and some of the other weapon systems that, I've heard about. These things definitely exist.
Right. Yeah. So hers is suspicious then, I would say. I mean, her kicking it off with this. Her family does say that there's no conspiracy, and they say she had mental health issues and that she died by suicide. So I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I don't want to undermine anybody. Like obviously this has to be a horrible time for their family, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like if you know that like either private contractors or like NGOs or somebody or even the government themselves like killed one of your family members and they're like, "Hey, check it out." Like there's a story, I can't remember. I want to say it was by George Knapp when they were talking about like Area 51 and whatnot. And there was this like supposed Men in Black thing that happened where it like these guys came up to this lady and were like, "Hey, we know your daughter drives from California every, couple weeks. It's a big desert out there. It'd be a shame if she just, got lost." Like that sort of fucking tactic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe they're just sticking to the story.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really know. Yeah. So, I mean, they're not too happy about her because it's been brought up again since this is all happening again. But it is a little strange from what she was saying to just die like that. So. Okay, the second one, Michael David Hicks. He's 59 years old when he died in July 30th, 2023. So he was a NASA research scientist at the Jet Propulsion Lab.
Hmm.
He was working on like space observation systems, so like detecting like near Earth objects. He also worked on NASA's DART project, which tested whether asteroids could be deflected. It does appear, though, that he stopped working there in 2022, so like a year before he died. So maybe early retirement, I don't know.
Did it
But
say
people,
how, I'm sorry, did it say how long he worked there?
I had it, he worked there for a really long time.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
don't
could
have
be.
the start of the thing, but yeah. I mean, he would have been 58 when he stopped working
Well,
there.
I mean, that's possible
But,
retirement age.
yeah. But his cause of death is listed as natural from like obesity and heart disease.
Yeah.
So the only sticking point that people have on this guy, I guess, is that his body was not like brought to a medical examiner. Like it was cremated before anyone could see it.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, if he died, well, hang on. So you're saying he wasn't even like taken to a hospital when he had these like,
Yeah, I don't know. The way I read it is he was like discovered at home, like being passed away, but he did have like, um, medical issues.
mm,
So I don't know if he was brought to the hospital and they, determined their cause of death there, like with a doctor, or I don't know if the EMTs could say it. I'm
I
not
don't,
sure.
yeah, I'm not sure if
Yeah, I don't think
EMTs
they
can,
can.
but
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, he could have been in a hospital and died in the hospital, so that would
mhm.
explain. So I'm not exactly sure if he was in the hospital or at home. So it could be fine. And his family has said, he did have like medical issues, like known medical issues. And that might have been also why he had to stop working.
Sure.
So for him, I kind of don't think there's anything that links him to these other
Yeah.
people.
Well, and the big thing too, like if it's listed as obesity and heart disease, like those are two of the biggest contributing factors to death in America. So, I mean, I guess that's not like too outside the realm of possibility. And not to mention too, he was almost 60. And if he had
Right.
underlying health conditions, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not really, it is interesting that there is some correlation between, the job title or work experience. But I mean, correlation doesn't equal causation, right?
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, just because he worked at NASA and
yeah.
died in the time frame, that's kind of why he's included here. I feel like. Yeah. The next one is Matthew Sullivan. So he was 39 years old when he died May 12th, 2024. He was a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer, and he was supposed to testify in the whistleblower case about UFOs. So he was scheduled to come in, and within 2 weeks of that, he committed suicide, apparently.
How did he allegedly commit suicide?
I couldn't find any other details about it. So that's why, for me, this is like pretty suspicious one.
We'll bet.
Yeah.
We'll bet.
Also, like, because his cause of death has never been publicly released so far either.
Yeah.
So,
Been 2 years.
yeah, almost 2 years. Yeah. Yeah. And he had served in senior intelligence roles, and it included working with the National Air and Space Intelligence Center, and he was deputy director at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Yep. Checks all the boxes right there.
Yeah. So his is definitely, I think there's some kind of connection there.
Well,
sure.
and the suspicion wouldn't be so much like, I understand people die every day, regardless of age or condition or cause, but it's oh, hey, 2 weeks from now we have this whistleblower committee that's gonna talk about UFOs and disclosure and all this stuff, and you're one of the top, or not top, but you're one of the Air Force intelligence, blah 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 blah. No, we're not going to have you do that, actually.
Yeah, that's like insane. I mean, whether it's connected to these other ones, but there's definitely something going on with that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to say it's connected to anything. I'm just saying, like, that in particular
That's
is very,
weird.
very, very, very suspicious.
Yeah. So now they're going to have to investigate, because now Congress is starting to talk about investigating all these people missing or dead. So they're going to have to do an investigation on.
I'm sure that'll go swimmingly.
Yeah, for that one, I'm not too sure. The next one is Frank Mywald, 61 years old. He died July 4th, 2024. He was a researcher on planetary robotic systems at the Jet Propulsion Lab. And he was a top scientist working on like detecting signs of alien life too. And there's really like not much information on him at all. Like he apparently died in LA, but he is not in the medical examiner's lookup for that database. So you can't find anything on it. Yeah, so literally I don't know like anything else besides that he worked at like the Jet Propulsion Lab too, like some of these other people.
And see, that's the thing. I hate we need to do an episode on old Bobby Lazar, but I hate bringing this back up again over and over again. But like, they know shit like made it for him, and I sincerely believe that they made it look like they took all the information they possibly could away from this guy, as far as like looking up anything and trying to find anything. And it's I feel like I'm in a Disney movie as far as the tale as old as time, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be able to just erase your history of everything you've done, and you're not gonna be able to find anything on this guy or girl.
Right. Yeah, it's insane. So that one's super weird. Whether it's connected to like the other people, I don't know, but because some people are saying it's all connected, they're all connected to each other, whatever, but we'll see.
Well, could it possibly be too, though, that it's just people they want to get rid of just because they don't like, because based on what I understand, there's a lot of like compartmentalization that happens at like those super high levels of like the need to know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the second you're out of those types of organizations, like, you got to watch your P's and Q's.
Right. I don't even know if he was like telling anyone anything.
Well, I mean, if he's texting people or talking to people, I mean, they're listening to everybody's phone calls. So, I mean.
Oh, well, yeah. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I just wish there was more information on him, but it might come out later when they investigate themselves.
Doubt it, but.
Next one is Anthony Chavez. He was 78 years old, and he went missing May 4th, 2025.
Okay.
So he's not been found still. He was a former employee of Los Alamos National Lab.
Well, good. We're all familiar with that. Or if you're not.
Yeah, right. We'll do one later on them. So, but he worked there till 2017.
That's weird.
Yeah, like he's 78 years old. I mean, yeah, right. He also was reportedly a foreman supervising construction at the site. So like not even necessarily like scientist.
True.
Maybe engineering background. I don't know.
But the thing is, like, if we're going to put the tinfoil hat on, Sarah, if he was building the underground bunkers or planning the underground bunkers that more than likely, almost with absolute certainty, are definitely in that desert, then I could see why they might want to get rid of him.
Yeah. It just seems weird. Yeah. Since 2017, like, I don't know.
Well, maybe it's one of those where, he's getting old. He doesn't have anything to lose anymore and he's going to start blabbing.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. He was last seen leaving his house on foot in Los Alamos.
See, and that's the other thing too. Like, I understand, like, you live out there and that's your home and whatnot. But I mean, it's still a desert, you know what I mean? And it would be too easy if you just went for a walk, to get hurt, fall in a cavern or hurt yourself and then die of exposure,
Right. Yeah. But this, like, people just leaving their house and never being seen again, this is like with a lot of these people down too. So.
Well, who saw them leave his house? That's what I want to know. Who reported that he left his house?
Yeah, for him, I don't have it listed. I'm not sure if he had a wife or not. But for some of the other people, I said who. The next one is Monica Reza. She's 60 years old, and she went missing June 2025. She served as the director of the Jet Propulsion Lab's Materials Processing Group. And she researched orbital communication systems as well. She apparently also holds a one-of-a-kind patent tied to advanced U.S. launch systems.
Okay.
I guess, have you heard of Mondaloy?
This sounds really familiar.
Yeah, her and her co-creator, Dallas and Hardwick, made Mondaloy. So that's a nickel-based alloy that's designed.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Designed to resist burning while remaining like incredibly strong under extreme heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that patent was in 2010. A little dated, but her and her co-creator are the people who invented it.
That's pretty cool.
And her co-creator died from cancer in 2014. So it was just Monica that would know this stuff, I guess. Also, for that patent research, she had received funding from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So bringing that back in too. I mean, a lot of people are connected to that too. So,
well, Wright-Pat is a very big Air Force base, and there are a lot of, as historically, there have been a lot of real world secret missions that we've come to find out, and normal people things, not like aliens or anything, but,
right, yeah.
Like the SR-71 and stuff that was tested out, most likely at Los Alamos and Area 51, and seeing how that thing could fly and operate. Like, yeah, they probably had a shit ton of them at Wright-Pat.
Yeah, probably. So, also her patent research was approved by General McCasland, which I'll get to him later because he's on this list.
Even better, we have a general.
Yeah. So Monica went missing during a hike in a LA forest.
Man.
Apparently she was with a few friends from like a yoga class, and they went on a steep hiking trail. I guess it's a very difficult trail, but she was very experienced with hiking, as people typically are when they then end up missing.
We can't have inexperienced people go missing.
Right, yeah. But I guess one of her friends decided they should run on the trail. So they did. I don't know why, but I guess she started running, and she said her one friend who witnessed it, he said he was running ahead of her. And he looked back and she was there. He said like 30 feet behind her or something. And then he looked back within a minute and she was gone. And he didn't hear anything. So that's how she went missing.
Aliens took her.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and you would think he would go to, because he knew exactly where they were. He didn't see any debris of her falling or anything.
Yeah, or if it was I know that there are mountain lions and stuff out there that have definitely attacked, bikers and stuff like that, but you would have heard it.
Yeah, right.
you know.
You would have heard her scream probably, like, or
Well,
something, or
even if
being tackled. Yeah,
yeah, even if the cat got like straight for the jugular and she couldn't
yeah,
scream, you would have heard something hitting the ground as it's or dragging her off. You know what I mean? Like you would have heard something.
yeah. So the police did look in the area and they did find her hat, but I think beyond her hat was, they said, was too tough of a terrain even for the search dogs. So they stopped looking and they've never found more of her.
Yeah, that's really odd because I mean, like if he was, what do you say, 30 feet?
Yeah,
Yeah, you would if she would have fallen, you would have heard it.
right, right. Yeah, it's really weird. So I don't know. And yeah, you'd think you'd see something
Yeah,
like
like
disturbed. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't see like a perfect trail, but you would definitely see
no.
like broken branches or and I mean, if
Yeah,
they're on a ski trail, I'm assuming like you said it's very mountainous terrain. Like if you're
yeah,
that close, you probably could have looked down the ridge and been like, "Oh shit, she's falling," and still see her
right,
falling.
right. So it's very strange how she's gone missing. And yeah, nothing's been found beyond her hat right now. Next one is Melissa Cassius. She's 53 years old. She went missing June 2025. She worked at Los Alamos, but it does say she was an administrative assistant. So there are disputes. Did she really have much security clearance? How high of a security clearance did she actually have, if any? Like, since she was an administrative assistant, she could
Yeah,
have
I
had,
mean, I do know that people at that level have to have certain levels of security clearance,
yes,
obviously, but it's usually pretty low. You know what I mean? Like they're not
right,
doing a full blown like complete family tree background check on you. They're just, being like,
right,
okay, this person got any felonies? They got any, arrest records? They have any, they might look at maybe some credit card debt because the government's weird about that, or where they don't want you to have weird shit. But I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But they're not going to go into like, the nitty gritty details of everything.
right. So yeah, who knows what she, like, what information she could have actually had. So she was last seen walking from someone driving by. A witness said that they saw her walking on a highway near Talpa, New Mexico, and she reportedly left all of her belongings at home. So she didn't have her phone, and she actually reset. Well, her phone had been factory reset. Whether she did it or someone else, I don't know.
Oh, because
So
that's what you do before you go on a walk, Sarah. I factory
right,
reset my phone every day.
yeah. I mean that's like crazy. I don't know. Did she just leave her life and not want to be found, or did
Or
something happen? Yeah. So
well,
hers is like a little
with her being
weird.
administrative assistant, I mean, there are leaks that do happen, and she might have got some information she shouldn't have.
Mm, yeah, it's true. Because she had access in the databases, probably, or whatever. Yeah, or some of them. I don't know, but that's pretty strange. Ben Garcia, 48 years old, he went missing August 2025. He was a property custodian at Kansas City National Security Campus, which is a government contractor that builds parts of nuclear weapons for Air Force Research Lab. So this did give him top security clearance in the building, which I guess at that building manufactures more than 80% of all the non-nuclear components that go into our nuclear weapons. So I guess on the missing poster, though, it does say he could be a danger to himself. So it might be just another case of like mental health issues and he's gone missing. But that's kind of all I know about him that I could find. So I'm not sure like how no one said they watched him walk away like the other ones.
Well, and see, that's the thing. Like with the last one, that a bystander, a random person, saw them
Yeah.
walking down the street. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't happen and people don't report that. It's just very odd considering the circumstances. Like, I'm much more inclined to believe that that guy had just mental health issues because there were nobody said like, oh yeah, we actually saw him walking down the street, down the highway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, okay, if he did have mental health issues and he was a danger to himself or others, okay, him just falling off the grid and going doing his own thing makes a little bit more sense.
Right. Yeah, and there's no reports if he left his cell phone or anything
Right. See, and
either.
that's the thing.
So
Like, usually when there's too much detail, it's just like, what are you really saying right here? You know what I mean?
yeah. Right. And then, well, another one people like to say is Jason Thomas. He was 45 years old. He went missing December 12th, 2025. He left his house and then he was found dead in a lake in March 2026.
Okay.
So he has been found. His wife did say he had been struggling with the recent deaths of his parents when he left. His wife did say that night they had a social outing for kind of one of the first ones since his parents' death, and they were taking care of their dogs. And then she said he left the house. She saw him outside and she heard the mailbox close. So she went to sleep thinking he's kind of come back in. And she woke up, a couple hours later, he wasn't there. So he did leave his cell phone, his wallet, his keys. He also left his Apple Watch in the mailbox. So that's what he was putting in the mailbox, I
See,
guess.
that's what I'm talking about, man. Like they were like, remove all this dude's shit, especially anything that can be tracked. Get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah. He was seen on CCTV walking near some train tracks, I guess, like the next day. But then, I mean, he wasn't seen since. And
We
then
can't
they found him in the lakes.
Yeah, we can't trust CCTV. We've already discussed that multiple times on this podcast.
Yeah. But he was the assistant director for chemical biology for Novartis, which is like a pharmaceutical company that focuses on developing and manufacturing like medicines for
Mhm.
serious diseases. So like, yeah, he's a scientist, but not at all related to like these other things.
Right.
So I feel like, I don't know, to put him with this grouping, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah. The next one is Nuno Loureiro, 47 years old. I think you would have heard about him. He was shot and killed December 2025 in his home. So he worked at MIT. He
Yes, I
was,
did hear about that. Yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. He was a physicist and fusion scientist, and he led MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center. And he aimed to advance clean energy technology. So, yeah, he was shot by the same gunman who also opened fire at Brown University, which
Yeah.
was 2 days prior.
Yeah.
Oh. Again, to me, I mean, he is a scientist, but I just don't see how it would be connected either to some of these.
Yeah, I feel like it's once again we're finding a timeline that might or may not, or may not link up together.
Yeah, I don't think they ever have said yet what the motive was, though, right? From the gunman?
I don't believe so, no.
Right. So might come out later, but
Yeah.
because isn't he killed himself, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he killed
Actually?
himself.
Yeah, he killed himself. We're not going to find out then, probably, what the motive was. So,
Yeah.
the next one is Carl Grillmeyer. He's 67 years old, and he was fatally shot February 2026. So, he worked at the Jet Propulsion Lab. He was researching exoplanets, stellar streams, and near-Earth objects. He was also working on infrared telescopes, and I guess his studies involved like search for water on other planets.
Mm-hmm.
So they do think they have who shot and killed him. So it was Freddie Schneider, allegedly. He is going to be on trial. So we'll find out more about this. I guess Freddie was on Carl's property December, and Carl's property, I guess, is very remote. Like his next neighbor is like a mile away. So this guy was there, and Carl's wife said Carl went out there to talk to this guy because he was like standing on his property with a gun.
Mm.
So Carl went out there, talked to this guy. The guy said something about like coyote hunting. And then the cops showed up, and they're not sure who called the cops since like his wife said they didn't call the cops. But the cops asked if Carl wanted to press charges on this guy. He said no. And then allegedly this guy comes back in February and kills Carl. So,
What?
and there's no known motive of the killing. Right. Just, I don't know. I guess the first trial date for him will be later in April, like the last week of April. So might get more information, but like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
so.
kind of crazy. Yeah.
Seems like a plant that they were just like, hey, I'm going to give you 50 grand to go kill this guy. You don't have any experience, but here you go.
Yeah, it's like his is really weird, yeah. Especially because he was at the Jet Propulsion Lab, I guess. But so now we're at the General, General William McCasland.
Mm-hmm.
You might have heard of his name too, maybe. He was 68 years old. He went missing in February 2026.
Yep.
So he was retired Air Force Major General, and he was the director of the Air Force Research Lab, which oversaw all research within the lab. He worked on advanced military research and development like hypersonics, directed energy systems, and advanced propulsion technology. He had also been involved in like the Congress, like disclosure of the UAPs. And he oversaw the funding for Monica's project. So I don't know. His is like really weird. I don't know. He also oversaw
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
he also oversaw classified space weapons programs and led research at Wright-Patterson while he was in the military before he retired. So he's been involved with Wright-Patterson for a while.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of like super secret squirrel shit that a lot of people would find very, very, very underwhelming, right? But there's also a lot of really cool secret squirrel shit that's like, holy fuck.
Yeah. I'm sure
You
he
know
knew
what I mean?
a lot of stuff.
Look, and I'm gonna be real. When I was at a particular base, I did not realize that there were still thousands of underground bunkers from like the Cold War area. And when we went to one to go get some stuff out of storage, I was like, holy shit. I had no idea this. And then realizing that there are thousands of them. Like, yeah, there's some shit. Always some shit.
Yeah, and I'm sure he knew a lot of it.
I guarantee it.
Right. So him being on this list is pretty concerning. So on February 27th, 2026, I guess, he just walked out of his home in New Mexico. He did not have his glasses, his phone, any smart devices. They did say a .38 caliber revolver and holster were missing, as well as a backpack and hiking shoes. So potentially he took those things. His wife said he changed clothing before leaving, apparently. So he was last seen by his wife around 10 or 11, she said. He was talking to a repairman. She had a doctor's appointment, so she was gone maybe like an hour and a half. So she got home around noon, and he wasn't there by the time she got home. So he left in a time frame. And then she reported him missing around 3 p.m. So she waited a couple hours and then...
Yeah, probably calling him like crazy, trying to figure out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. She did say he had been having issues with brain fog recently, and she was concerned about him like just wandering off because of that, like just walking around. I don't know. She also said on the 911 call that it doesn't seem like he wants to be found since he left that stuff.
Well, okay, maybe. That's an odd thing to say, though.
Yeah, she
just
said
because you
like,
leave your phone and wallet,
not all your devices, and yeah.
Well, yeah,
but
I mean, that's an odd thing to say.
That's what she said. She said it doesn't appear he wants to be found.
I don't like that.
Maybe he went to one of those bunkers. Maybe he's in a safe space. I don't know. Maybe he knows something is coming.
Maybe.
I don't know. So the last one that people are talking about, I kind of saved this for the end because I don't really think she should be included.
Okay.
Is Dr. Ning Lee. So that would make her the 13th person. So she worked on anti-gravity research in the 90s. And then people are saying she did that and then disappeared. But she didn't really disappear, because if you look at her Wikipedia page, which I guess could be staged. I don't know. But it says she did anti-gravity work and published papers between 91 and 93. And then she left like the University of Alabama, where she was at, in 99. And she founded a company called AC Gravity, which is still in existence. So they were awarded a grant from the Department of Defense for $448,000 in 2001 to continue the anti-gravity research. So she was doing that. She just didn't make it public because it was with this grant.
Right.
People say she disappeared. Yeah, and then in 2014, apparently, because I think she was doing all that research for a while,
Right.
like, and just never published it. But she, I guess, was struck by a vehicle in 2014.
Okay.
So that caused permanent brain damage. So then her son said he took care of her for 6 years and she died July 27th, 2021.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's.
So, yeah. Just because it's anti-gravity again? Like,
well, once
I don't
again,
know.
we're looking for common denominators that probably don't,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
especially too,
Yeah.
like back in the 90s too. Like, so that's always the thing that I've kind of thought about. Is like, if they truly found a crashed alien craft at Roswell, New Mexico, or allegedly the countless other ones that they've found in like archaeological digs, and I think there's been a few underwater they found and stuff like that.
Mhm.
If we've been studying these things for a long time, this type of research has been going on for 80 years, 90 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Apparently her published papers say she had functional anti-gravity devices for
well,
91 and 93, I guess.
I mean, allegedly with Bob Lazar, like he witnessed it.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I mean? And worked on the actual propulsion system that propelled the craft in that way.
Yeah. So those are the 13, I guess, if we want to count all of them. People are speculating, since a lot of this was anti-gravity, that it's related to the day we're going to lose gravity.
Oh
in
my
August.
fucking God.
So when I saw like a TikToker be like, oh, guess what's happening in August that everyone's talking about, is like, what is happening? Oh yeah, we're losing gravity. We gotta be on live for that time.
We do need to be on some sort of live stream for that. But that is funny. No, but I mean, in all seriousness, I mean, if we wanted to like kind of take a layer off the tinfoil hat and not say we're going to lose gravity in August sometime. No, like a lot of these scientists that, I mean, the most documented thing I can think of, and that's why I keep bringing it up, is Bob Lazar, because he's talked about it on countless interviews, is how compartmentalized and how like little communication there was between like different departments. Like propulsion didn't talk to metallurgy. Metallurgy didn't talk to, you know, any sort of weapons applications. Weapons application didn't talk to anybody in the propulsion. So like so compartmentalized, you know. And if that's truly the case, and you have people that are in very, very specific fields and they start to kind of communicate like you're supposed to for science to actually progress,
right?
They might shut that shit down.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know I don't know how much they interacted with each other or knew each other, but it's a little strange for some of these, for sure. But I guess, yeah, local law enforcement is exploring potential links between these people as much as they can. But also, I guess Eric Burleson, which is a Tennessee representative, he has requested the FBI to be involved, and he's like heightened the concerns with it. So, and the FBI is like looking into any links between these people. Yeah. But I made a little infographic, I guess, of how everyone connects. Maybe
we got like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon over here or something.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, here's can you see? Or am I in the way?
No, you're good.
I don't know if in the picture. Okay. Well, just here's how many people are like connected to the NASA Jet Propulsion Lab, and then Los Alamos, and then how he's connected. William Neal McCaslin. I don't know. Some of these are like weird how they connect, but then these three people over here, like they don't really connect to anything.
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah, Jason Thomas, Nuno Loureiro, and Amy Eskridge. Hers is weird though, since she talked about.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're all kind of weird, right? But I feel
Right.
like this is also too like that Always Sunny where like Charlie's like got the map up, or is that from Always
Yeah,
Sunny? You know, like I feel that's the meme right now with the, you
right.
know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say that like it's not interesting or it's not, suspicious, because a lot of these are very suspicious. But at the same time, like, if you just go to Reddit and start being all like, I knew somebody that actually worked for Los Alamos and they died in 2018.
Yeah.
They must be part
right.
of this. You know what I mean? So
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if any of them connect. It is a little weird, but people die and go missing every day, like you said. So
very, very true. And like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate for a little bit of it, but I also think that a lot of people that have talked about, especially Bob Lazar, about what happens at Los Alamos, the research that happens out at like Area S4, Area 51, probably countless other military installations across the United States. Like, they're doing some wild shit. Even if it's not alien, they're doing some wild shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and some people speculate that it's, someone foreign coming and trying to take them, like the missing people, especially, I guess, for the information they have or whatever. I don't know. I mean, stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I don't know though. It's like, as far as it goes, like the whole like Bob Lazar thing, he always talks about how he thinks he was picked because he was just someone that didn't think like everybody else. Like he wasn't like a no shit scientist, you know what I mean? Like he was smart, like he put a fucking jet engine on the back of a car. Like he knows how to do shit, right?
Right.
Hell, he made a fucking particle collider in his backyard. Like he's not an idiot, but he's also not a academically trained individual. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't really think they care where they get people from, as long as they can start to kind of push the needle a little bit with this stuff.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, do you think there's anything connecting any of these people, or?
100%. 100%. The whole Los Alamos, a lot of people working in, jet propulsion, artificial gravity, anti-gravity, especially the general that, like, dude, if you're Air Force intelligence and you're that high up, like, the secret squirrel shit. You know it, So, I don't know. That would be my thought, is that it's definitely suspicious, all connected, probably not. Some connected, most definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, for sure. So maybe they'll find more information. I don't know, when they investigate.
Or maybe they'll just say that, yes, their aliens are real and we've been, we've had these crafts for, 7 decades now. Dude, did you hear about the fucking shit in Egypt?
I'm not sure.
Allegedly, they've used ground penetrating radar, and it's like down in these catacombs below. I want to say they're below the pyramids, and there is a giant chasm that has a solid object, and it's most likely metal, that's like 40 yards, and it looks like a fucking Tic Tac.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What? We should cover that later.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, they did disclose some of that UAP stuff or whatever.
Well, look,
and the non-human
intelligence,
whatever. Yeah.
NHIs. That's what they like to call it now. Yeah. But no, and I am kind of the mind of two different, like, skeptical and then like full blown tinfoil hat, right? Because like me thinking about this logically, the universe is fucking big.
Yeah, right.
The likelihood, I'm sure there is life, but the likelihood of an advanced civilization going across pretty much infinity, because that's probably how expansive our universe is, and then finding us and being all like, hey, these are interesting little monkey things that like to use thermonuclear weapons.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at them and let's drop a couple of our ships down here to see what they fucking do. You know what I mean? I just don't see that. But at the same time, we have some crazy propulsion that we have not released publicly too, because there are definitely videos of strange craft that move like they are under the influence of anti-gravity for sure. So one of two things. It's either reverse engineered alien technology or we've developed a new propulsion technology that is not yet public.
There's always new stuff that's not public. I mean, I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I've seen a couple quote unquote secret things that like most people would be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I had to fucking, you know, you got to sign an NDA for this, but okay. You know what I mean? Like whatever. But then you see some other stuff where it's like, holy shit, this is kind of crazy. And it's something that people made, you know what I mean? So it's like, it wouldn't shock me if we had some new sort of propulsion system that we just haven't perfected yet, and that we're keeping it from if the US government has it, we're keeping it from our adversaries. That way they don't have it either. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
So that'd be my thought.
Yeah, I just wonder why these people are missing or dead, I guess.
It could be something as easy as they actually did disappear on their own, or they did commit suicide on their own, and it's just a bunch of people that are supposedly linked that aren't really. Yeah. Or they got a hold of some secret shit they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I mean, that's possible.
And we're talking to people about it.
Yeah.
The phone thing is what freaks me out, because like you wouldn't have factory reset your phone just to go on a walk.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
she wanted to disappear, or whoever took her wanted her to disappear. Either one. I mean, but yeah, you don't just reset your phone like a normal day.
I don't think even if you wanted to commit suicide, I don't think you would factory reset your phone. Like that's not what you're thinking in that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How many people have done that when they commit suicide? Like
nobody. They usually write a note explaining what's going on. They want people to know what happened. They want people to know why they did it. You know, like this, I don't know. It's super weird. Hey, listeners of this show, I am not planning on killing myself in any way, shape, or form. So.
Me neither.
Just so we have it on record.
I want to live.
I want to live.
Yes. Yeah, don't believe it if anyone says that.
Yeah, get the FBI involved. They'll do a stand-up job, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're not scientists though, so
that's true. But we could
care
be
about that. Well, yeah, we could be. I was kind of a scientist.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I've got some military experience. You know, who knows?
Yeah,
you know,
that's
maybe,
true.
You know,
oh my God, us together is like the perfect.
Saying, hey.
Okay, well, hopefully it's fine. I mean, we're just talking about what the mainstream media is talking about now. It's in the mainstream
nobody believes
now.
it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what we could get in return for this? We could start getting some wild emails of like, you know how like they're going to give us like disinformation to be like, this is special agent so-and-so that is with the Bureau of blah, 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 blah. And I have this secret document, and they're going to know if we read it on air that we're full of shit because they just leaked a document that's not real, a real disinformation campaign. And we're going to be part of the cog in the machine, Sarah.
Yeah, and then we'll be canceled before we even really start it.
Exactly. We have hundreds of views, which we love every single one of you for checking out this podcast. But the likelihood of us getting canceled this early, I don't think it's zero, but it's not very high.
I think we'll fly under the radar. I don't think they're going to care at all.
Yeah.
So
who knows though? We might uncrack some code. Your little infographic might really crack the code, Sarah. You never know.
Yeah, someone might see it and be like, "Oh my God, this connects where I didn't think."
Yep.
I don't
know. Even though
if
it's all
happens,
public.
Let me know. Yeah, right. Yeah, it is all public. So, yeah, but that's it.
Well, listeners, get into the STEM field, but don't work on propulsion or anti-gravity, because there's a small percentage that you might go missing from unforeseen people. So Or just keep
Yeah.
your mouth shut about it. That works too.
Well, yeah. Right. Follow your NDAs if you have it.
Yeah. Don't break those. Don't do that. But all
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys have any more information on this missing scientist stuff and any more people that we missed that have been added to the list, because I'm sure by the time this comes out, the internet will have a plethora more. It will have like 30 probably by the time this episode comes out. But yeah, shoot us an email at theparanoidperspectivepodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what we missed. Let us know if we need to do an updated episode. I'd love to do an updated episode on this one personally.
Yeah. I'll have to make the infographic bigger, but
You
that's
will.
fine.
That's
Yeah.
fine. We can add to it. We can always add
Right.
to. But
Yeah.
yeah, check us out on any social media. Just search the Paranoid Perspective Podcast. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/the Paranoid Perspective for some awesome little free perks over there. Easiest and free way is always to share this podcast with a friend, like this whatever piece of media you're seeing, comment, share, all the good social media buzzwords. But if you also want to help support the show, we do have an Amazon affiliate link. Sarah, what are we affiliating today?
So I was thinking, you know what scientists have in common?
What's that?
They need to crunch the numbers.
They do.
So if you want to do that, get this number pad. That makes it easier.
I need one of those, actually. I truly do need one of those because it annoys the shit out of me being on a laptop without one of those.
I know, right. So you can just get this so it adds to it, and it's a kissant mechanical, so it makes all the clicky.
Well, there you go. So not only am I satisfied because I don't have to use the keypad on the laptop, I get some ASMR on top of it. So I'm here for it.
And it's gray and blue.
Hey.
Which I like. That's my style. But yeah, so that'll be in the description.
Sweet. Dude, I'm buying one of those right now. I'm going right now to go get one of those. I'm so happy you did that. But yeah, check out the affiliate link. Check out all the stuff that I've talked about before. If you don't want to just search that on your own, all those will be linked down below. And as always,
remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not watching. See you next time on The Paranoid Perspective.